Blessed love and give thanks for your presence. We do give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life. We glorify and exalt Daniel, the Savior of the world. Eggs of the bear, ever living eye. Thanks to the power and might of the Holy Trinity himself. Kadamawe Haile Selassie, Emperor Haile Selassie I. We're thankful that we are now in the process of entering into the fourth lecture in this lecture series, the fourth episode, as it relates to the heavens declare the glory. And today we will be delving into, literally, the black hole. And the first black hole, the original black woman. In our previous lecture, we spoke of the Orion, the Sahu mystery. And in conclusion, we touched upon the Kephas or the Cephas constellation, the Ethiopian king in the northern celestial region. And of course, the power factor, the energy factor, as it relates to natural electromagnetic vibration and attraction, and the time span wherein the ages are overlapping and changing, and Kephas itself in relation to the jackal will be taking over the power seat of the heavens, which is the celestial North Pole. And of course, this, for those who also study megalithic power and just the cosmic connection with the earth, knows that this is very important, the power seat of the heavens. And as Brother Charles Finch was explaining to us, that power seat now is still held, according to the cosmic code, by the jackal, which is the same little bear, little dipper. And he is saying that the jackal will be replaced by the Ethiopian king. And for those who have sat in The Night of the Black Tiger, which is a full-length documentary, video documentary that we have produced, full-length video documentary, The Night of the Black Tiger, which is the divinity of the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, clearly makes that connection with the jackal, the Ampu, the Impu, the Anubis, the mummifier, who wraps in the red, the black, and the green, and in the new life shall rise. That strong connection was made with that forerunner, that baptizer, the same Anpu, the same Anubis, who is considered the first god of the northern pole of the heavens. That is the same constellation which houses its seat in the northern celestial pole. So the Ampu represents the said Marcus Garvey, the said John the Baptist, as many others have connected Anubis with the John the Baptist and the herald with the Christ figure. But of course, we have taken it a step, or maybe several steps further, as we show that Anpu is Mosiah Garvey, and Anpu is the said Alamek, and Anpu is the Bat, and Batman was stolen from all these things, and so was Hulk. But that's something else, actually. So the great Ethiopian king, the Kephas, the energy, power, and all that is being done in the heavens, the allegory and the dance of the celestial stage will be played out terrestrially in history. In history, what is being seen in the heavens will be seen on earth in time. It may be even seen in cycles and happen just like the heavens have cycles, and it comes again. The same thing comes again, but it will come, and the woman will give birth to a child, and the dragon will stand in its way, and one will come off of a white horse, and he will be given a crown, and he will go conquering and to conquer. It will happen. And the water pitcher man shall come, and the water pitcher woman shall come, and shall enter into the house. It will happen. When we spoke of the Sahu, the Orion, what is outstanding as well is that the Sahu constellation, the Orion constellation, is also referred to by the Sumerians as the shepherd of Anu. The shepherd of Anu would rise on the 10th of December. The shepherd of Anu would rise with the twins. Very interesting. For the constellation that is above the shepherd of Anu is the constellation known as Gemini. And that is Hu and Sa, the said Shu and Tefnut. And Hu and Sa and Shu and Tefnut in relation to the Sahu character as it relates to the heavens now is a mystic cycle, is a mystic turn. For in one essence they're considered the first children from the Sahu or from the Orion, and yet still they're also considered the mother and the father of the same. But what they're definitely not is the Castor and Pollux philosophy that has been placed on them. Yes, the star that represents all the stars that represents their heads, Castor and Pollux, that's the name of the stars. But again, as we had to go through the names in relation to the Greek mythology that goes with these names, we got to be careful, because Castor and Pollux are two little Greek boys, similar to Cupid to some degree, but they're just not, I guess, angels with wings. And when you see Castor and Pollux, they're usually naked, and they're usually very close to each other, and very close, very close. I've even seen renditions, not no modern day really, renditions of them with whips. So what kind of thing is this? And Castor and Pollux, they're twins. They're twins and twins, but they have different fathers. And it may take a while for that to kind of sink in, but this is the philosophy that comes from out of Greece as it relates to that subject area there. So I'm showing you that when you observe the constellation of Gemini, it's obvious that you have a man and a woman here. The woman can clearly be seen with the hips of the feminine shape to, of course, accompany childbearing. There's certain times when the moon is right between the legs of the tefnut of the Sa character, the feminine part of Gemini. The moon is right between her legs, and that's only for like about 3 to 4 hours as it passes through, and that's a mystic time. But this happens once every month, though. Even when my son came forth and was born, at that moment the moon was right between the legs of that very same constellation, that very same Tefnut, that very same Sa of the Gemini constellation. The point is Gemini is male and female. Castor and Pollux are two male little boys. So obviously there's corruption there already. And Gemini is called Castor and Pollux. In fact, Gemini is the two little boys. But I'm just trying to show you now that the real Gemini is a male and a female. The constellation in the heavens portray a man and a woman. So therein now we have the mother and the father. And we have the Sahu, the Orion, representing also the sun figure. This is an ancient Trinity here. This is the same ancient concept where you would see the father and the mother and the child in the sense of the Asar and the Isis, or the Aset and the Heru, which is the Horus. So that is the power of the heavens expressing this. And then now, on the exact end, or the exact opposite of this Trinity, there is another dynamic Trinity that can be seen. And this is so key. Let us understand the mathematics of it. Let's just look at the mechanics. Remember, it is the 21st day of June. It is on the 21st day of June that the sun is at its most northern point in the ecliptic belt. It is on the 21st day of June that the sun is at its most northern point in the zodiac belt, and it is in the constellation of Gemini. Gemini is the most northern constellation in the zodiac belt, 23.5 degrees, 23.44 degrees to the north. And then now you also have the most southern constellation being again the Archer. And the sun, when it is in the Archer on the 21st day of December, that is, the most southern point that the sun can go, both celestially and terrestrially. And they both line up with the 23.44. And the vibration here is that Gemini is to the exact opposite of Sagittarius or the Archer. They are exactly 6 months away from each other. So when Gemini and the Orion constellation, when that Trinity is rising over the eastern horizon at that very, very, very same time, the Sagittarius, which is a part of another Trinity, and his companions will be setting in the western horizon, and vice versa. So when Sagittarius is coming up, whenever it is rising, whether it's in the morning, at night, or noonday, because the sidereal day and the solar day is 4 minutes apart. So it's going to change every day, every moment. It's a natural clock. So when the Archer, the Sagittarius, is rising with his companions at the same time, Orion and his companions Gemini will be setting. If Orion and Gemini is in the middle of the sky, almost like a noonday sort of impression, well then, Sagittarius the Archer will be on the opposite side. Wherever the opposite side of this planet would be from that, that is where you would see Sagittarius and his companions. So it's like midday and midnight. So if it's midday here and it's midnight in China, it is the same effect. Wherever Orion is with the Gemini, the Archer is on the opposite side of the celestial heaven, or the celestial, what appears to be globe. This is deep. Why that is so important and why I stressed that point is because the archer, a very key figure, the winter solstice character, it is he now, as I said before, the 21st day of December 2012, that once was speaking of the end of the Mayan calendar, the sun aligning with the planet plus the center of the Milky Way galaxy. This is the same area where the archer is. He's actually pointing his arrow in that region. So the archer and the serpent holder and Hercules, as we explained earlier, plus we have definitely explained in very fine detail in the documentary known as Seven. But of course, again, the archer and the serpent holder and the constellation referred to as Hercules are doing a work together. Now, this aspect of it is undeniable, meaning that the serpent holder, a very key character, as you can see, he is extremely tall, and the serpent holder has a serpent in his hand, extremely tall, and he's standing on the scorpion that wants to devour the scale, the man-child that is born from the woman. So what he's doing, the Ophiuchus serpent holder character, he is holding down the scorpion, and he's holding it down for the archer to shoot it with his arrow. This is in the sky. And the same serpent holder, living up to his name, is holding a snake, and right above his head is a next man, Hercules, with a sword like Orion, aiming at the serpent in the serpent holder's hand, ready to chop off his head. So the serpent holder is the individual, has no weapons. He doesn't have a sword, and he doesn't have an arrow or anything, and he doesn't have a crown. Hercules has the northern crown. This is very unique. And the Sagittarius, or the archer, the most southern constellation in the ecliptic belt, has the southern crown. Interesting. The serpent holder, the one in the middle, has no crown. But he is holding the enemy on both ends for the northern king, and he is holding the enemy for the southern king, and he is standing up on the southern king's enemy and holding the enemy for the northern king, because both Hercules and the archer have a similar constellation right in front of them. A coroner, a crown. Wow. I mean, the Sistine Chapel and the fella there, whoever his name, Leonardo. I mean, wow, not even close. Can't nearly even begin to compare to what we all can see every evening. Well, depending on where you live, because I've been to some places and I'm telling you, I miss the sky. I mean, wow. Yeah. But I'm just showing you now that that's a trinity. That's a trinity. And let me be clear. Sometimes we need to listen and agree with understanding. If I'm to tell you, which I don't have to tell you, and I've already said it in the series, that the archer is Haile Selassie, and the serpent holder is the Honorable King Emmanuel, Charles Edwards, and the Hercules is Marcus Mosiah Garvey, an individual, maybe not necessarily you, but an individual may disagree for one reason or the other. Now, fair enough. But for sure, I mean, that is for sure as well, too, you know. But at least to some degree, I think it is obvious that the heavens is showing us three male figures acting together to accomplish one goal. They're literally working together. The middle man is holding down the enemies, and the two at the other end, the extreme ends with weapons ready to kill. And they both have crowns. That can't be no mistake. That's the holy hand of the Almighty that is portrayed this in the canvas called the sky. That's some deep stuff. This is why you can't move me in a man. I mean, I'm sorry, but this is why wow, come on. And then now, for the naysayers, and then now, for the opposition, and then now, for all, meaning in a Trinity that not having no woman. Now you see, this is why I don't follow the crowd. Even people that like to bring up Osiris and Isis and Horus, you can see they're not fully well studied. Baba Heru himself, Baba Heru, Samaj, sat me down, and opened the Kemetic, or the Egyptian, as I think that's the right name the book has, the Egyptian Hieroglyphic Dictionary, and showed me the oldest Trinity, being that of Asa, Ptah, Soka, the Ptah Soka shrines, Asa, Ptah, and Soka. That's three male beings. Now, that's some deep stuff, because there's a story that followed that, and every one of them character have a wife, you know. Every one of them have a wife, so let's not lose this. But I'm showing you now, outside of even that, even if the elder didn't sit me down and show me that, even if the Kemetics didn't write that or nothing, that don't mean nothing. We're talking about the oldest books. I'm not talking about hieroglyphics here, you know. Can you read the Medunetta and the microphone? They're shoving it in your mouth like a lollipop. Hold on, hold on, man. Take your time. We're talking about bigger writings than Medunetta. I'm learning this too, but the main message, I have it down pat. Yeah. So I'm just saying that on the exact opposite, this is academics, yet still we're showing you the theology. On the exact opposite, basically that to the circumference, really, the 180, you know, the diameter line really from one end to the other end. On the exact opposite, you have a Trinity with the Mother and the Father and the Son. On the exact opposite, you have a Trinity of the Mother, the Father, and the Son. The Gemini and the Sahu. And on the exact opposite to that, midday and midnight, you have another Trinity doing a work. The prophet and the priest and the kings. And as it relates to Sahu and Gemini, you know, the river Nile or the Milky Way runs perfectly through the sword of Orion and Gemini. Gemini is standing on the Milky Way, while Orion has his sword dipped into that river, because remember, the Milky Way has the same path as the River Nile. And on the exact opposite end, his arrow is dipped in the Nile as well. The archer, Sagittarius, the great king that was given the bow and the crown that came on the Capricorn. The heavens, my brothers and sisters, declare the glory. There is nothing else that has been written that can trump this. As the Milky Way has entered the discussion, the Milky Way is the galaxy that we are in. So when you see that line that appears as if it is a cloud, but well, even more so, a river of milk that is going across the sky in the night, especially when it's one of those starry nights with the pitch black background, you would see the Milky Way clearly. The Milky Way, the river of milk as it appears, is in perfect alignment to the river on the planet Earth known as the River Nile. So when the Bible speaks of the land flowing with milk and honey, no spookiness. I hear people speak about, you know what I mean, I wonder if I was supposed to go there. About, let me use the term, Christ passing through the wilderness and, you know, touching the rock and a river came out. The Ethiopian Orthodox monks have this story. And the river flowed out, one with milk and one with honey. And they even show you the river, but it's not, it's regular water today. But it's a little stream trickling, but it was water, milk and honey. I mean, okay, I ain't gonna fight no one's belief. I may have a different outlook of that story, but it's good vibes. Yeah, man, don't stop telling it. It's the truth. But how is it supposed to be taken? But my point is here, though, outside of that, no respect to the Orthodox, you know that. My point is, for sure, this is what I would more put my trust in, that there's a river on this planet that has the exact curves, perfect alignment to what the ancients referred to as the river of milk that is flowing through the heavens, the Milky Way. So that river of milk is aligned with a river down here. And according to the science of theology, it's a science, not no belief. It's a science, not some aspects of science is theory. That's what we call belief in religion. Theory, that's theory. But there's an exact science too. Everything in science is not a theory. There's an exact science. So the science is that the river of milk in the sky aligns with the river on the earth called the River Nile. So if there's a land flowing with milk and still flowing with honey, okay, hold on. Let's put the honey aside for a while. There's a river on the planet that aligns with the Milky Way. This is the land. That's the river flowing with milk. I'm talking about the River Nile, man. And if you understand what milk means, not no cow milk for nobody to be drinking, no animal pus and blood, but the science of the Milky Way in connection to the River Nile. That is the galaxy that we live in, the River Nile. It's a science. The galaxy we live in is the Milky Way. And we are the specific wing in the galaxy, moving through the galaxy in this solar system. This heliocentric solar system that appears geocentric. For what reason? For the metaphysics, for the esoterics, for the science. This has been a wonderful series. No, I'm not done. I'm not done at all. We have bonuses too, you know. I'm just saying this has been a wonderful series. As I even meditate on, you know, even carrying you as far as how the caveman would see it. and seeing the sun coming up and giving thanks, oh yes, sun is coming, and they can go out and look for the food, and actually maybe shaking in the boats when it's going down, frantic and rushing to light a fire to replace the going sun on its simplest level, to the level where we're breaking down the mathematics now and understanding the light years, 186,000 miles per second is the speed of light. Is the speed of light. So the light from a star, you judge the light from a star, and that determines how far the star is away. So if the light takes a year to reach here, it's a light year away. And most stars ain't no light year away. We're talking about thousands of light years away, hundreds and millions in some cases. Things you watching out there, millions of light years away. Do you know what that means? That means the light will take 1,000,000 years to come here. Light is 186 miles per second. A second in a man. How long I've been speaking here? Several seconds. Light would have gone around the planet several times. But yet still there's a star, or at least some sort of far distance galaxy or some cluster of stars, because some of these stars are not stars. They're galaxies, they're clusters of stars, and most stars are double stars that we are looking at in the night. But some of them are, let's just say, 100 light years away. Wow. So the light you see twinkling, even some would tell you, for example, the star in Orion, Betelgeuse, is scheduled to explode sometime. Some are saying that Betelgeuse now, because of the distance that it is away from us, maybe it had already exploded, but we just have not seen the effect as yet, the supernova effect, but we will see it when it happens. Because of the distance, the light hasn't reached us as yet. And we use all of this again to express theology. The judgment coming, brother. Maybe done set and seal already, but you still basking and saying everything all right. Yeah. From the time the man stepped before them League of Nations, brother. Man, that's the scripture. People say, oh, it come and gone and then happen. Yeah. You don't understand, brother. You don't comprehend. So when a star explodes, we get the effect known as a supernova. In fact, the supernova is an exploding star. Not necessarily an exploded star, but if you want to use that term, it's up to you. Because the whole process of a star exploding is something that will take years upon years. It doesn't just happen overnight or just boom. You know, it's a continuous process of demolition and destruction of a star that is dying, exploding, or just the whole star going out or going dead or losing its life. As I said before, our sun is said to be on a course of either extinguishing itself or exploding next couple billion years. So you have time. I guess you could, you have enough time to pack. But the point is, I'm serious, you have enough time to pack. But the point is, stars have a life, and they will come to an end. Yeah, it may seem like they're there for billions of billions and maybe even more than that, trillions of years. Yeah, but still, they will die and something else will come and the whole heavens will change. This heavenly thing I'm just speaking about, and zodiac belt and the sun goes through this and Mars and all and the moon and all of this. Let's just assume you were on the planet Mars. Yeah, let's say you're on the Mars then. That it wouldn't look the same way. Number one, you ain't going to be seeing no Mars in the heavens anymore. You'll be seeing the Earth. And no, it's not the Earth that will be as such going through the zodiac belt. Things might be a little different because the planets have a certain alignment. You know, that thing you see with the planets in alignment. Yeah, but there's still a difference. And it will make the heavens look different. It depends on where you are, where you get this impression. The point I'm making is where we are has been designed in such a way to give us this specific picture. I can't tell you what picture you get on Mars. Maybe there's a drawing for the people on Mars. Maybe there's a whole different story for the people on Mars. I don't know. I really don't. You know, I'd assume that Mars has a different northern pole, you know, because the northern pole of the heavens is in connection to the earth, you know, and how the earth rotates. It's not as if there's a northern pole of the sky, really, you understand. It's the rotation of the globe that you are on that creates this northern celestial pole. That's what it is. It creates it, you know. That's why understanding the geocentric aspect is key too. So you create that celestial southern pole, you know, and the circumpolar stars. That's why we use that as a key point to put aside the flat earth theory. Because on a flat earth, you cannot have circumpolar stars in the fashion that we have. It's impossible, you know. So I'm just showing you that the southern circumpolar stars and the northern circumpolar stars, that is an impression, an image that is created because we are on a globe and the rotation of it. That's what it is. So if you are on Mars, obviously we won't be talking about and Kephas will be coming into and the new age like that. No, it would be something else because Mars is on a different vibes. I mean, Venus or whatever and whoever planet, they're on a different vibe. So whoever is on them planets doing what they're doing is just a different thing altogether. I mean, what are you talking about? That's like a different language. So what I'm speaking is unique to here. It's deep, you know, man. So I'm saying now, so when a star would explode, the core of the star will begin to collapse upon itself, meaning that we're all and everything in general is made up of the atoms. And remember the atoms, how many protons, neutrons, or electrons it may have. The atom is a lot of space. According to science, the atom has more space. It doesn't really take up, you know, too much of its own space. This means that if you compress the protons, neutrons, and electrons, then what you have now is that the item will begin to collapse upon itself. So when the star explodes, supernova, boom, you have the core of the star remained in. This is because the metal that this is made of is basically different than anything else that you would even find around here. Or if it is around here, maybe they haven't found it yet. But the point is the core of the star would remain. And it is the core of this star which will begin to collapse upon itself. And while collapsing upon itself, the velocity of the star will increase because the star is rotating. But now the speed will increase as it collapses upon itself, as the atom gets rid of its space. And a good way to describe this is if you get some aluminum foil paper, not to wrap your food up in now, but just to do an example, get aluminum foil paper and you were to make a loose ball, a foil paper ball with the aluminum foil paper. And then you just crush the ball until it comes as small as it can. That's exactly what happens with this core of the star. Then the core of the star now, as I said, keeping in mind that it has a rotation, meaning that it will start to speed up, the velocity will increase for the core of this star, and then now that will create a strong magnetic electric pull electromagnetic pull. Not just a pull, a uniform electromagnetic pull. Meaning that when you see the black hole itself, you'll notice that it appears as if it has like the eye of a hurricane. It's basically the same thing. That spiral energy can be found all over the universe. That spiral energy is found even on the altar. That spiral energy, the hurricane, the black hole, the DNA, is said to be a feminine energy. And that is very key and very important here. So when you have that, when we see these beautiful, the nebulae, the Horsehead Nebula, you have the Butterfly Nebula, you have the Orion, you know. These are what they refer to as space clouds or clouded dust of space matter. And within them, you have the creation of stars, because remember, with all these different chemicals reacting, creation is always taking place in so-called space, wherein we are in space as well. Keep that in mind. So I'm saying now, with the explosion of this star, a lot of debris, a lot of material will be there in the heavens where the star exploded. But in the midst of this material, for example, a lot of the nebula that you see, in the center of them, or it depending on what it is, there is the core of a star. Because most nebulae are remains, clouds, dust, matter from an exploded star, or some sort of explosion in general in the heavens. Now, all of what we are speaking of here is a process that will take a long time. Millions to billions of what we call years, as far as time. Because what is really a day in quote unquote outer space? What is a day? What time the sun rise and the time the sun set? Just in space. You're not on no planet now, nothing rotating. You're just there in space floating. What's a day? How long is a day? When is the day? What time you go say everything is different. You see, you gotta comprehend. This is deep. So I'm saying that within this clouded dust, activity is taking place. Yes, stars are being created and different levels of chemical activities, but yet still the neutron star, as they would call it, the core of the destroyed star, is increasing in velocity and shrinking in size and creating a strong electromagnetic, very uniform area around itself. And that same uniform or uniformity can be seen with the rings, for example, around the planet Saturn. The rings around Saturn are rocks, and they look so beautiful and they're so perfectly aligned because there's a uniform electromagnetic energy that Saturn has, wherein these rocks, whether they came by some sort of collision, some people say some moons collided and the debris just started to go around Saturn because of the electromagnetic energy that Saturn has. These rings are actually divided. They have space between them where you ain't got no rocks floating around. That's some deep stuff. So that same energy Saturn has, Uranus has it as well. I think Jupiter has a slight ring too. Plus planet Earth, a lot of the rubbish that they say out there in Earth, in Earth's atmosphere or outer atmosphere. They actually, I don't think they form a ring, but they form a sort of like an outer globe kind of thing going around the planet Earth, because of that electromagnetic pull. Some people would say it's gravity, but it's very uniform, very deep. And it is some energy like that. That is why the planets go around the sun. It is an energy like that which is being created by this neutron star. A black hole is being created, but in its very young stage. Because all of that dust, all of that debris, the nebula in case, will eventually start to react to this new region of energy that is being formed, this black hole that is being created. What the black hole will begin to do, it will begin to take all the space dust and debris that is around it, and they will begin to spiral around the hole. And after millions of years, if that be, it will create a friction, a sort of environment wherein now that the what you would call it, the rocks and the space matter would get so excited, it forms something that is known as a quasar, which means now the radiation will definitely step up, and the material will get hot, fiery. This is in space now, and even from a distance you could see a quasar shining like a star, for they have discovered quasars. And as I said, this is an energy, a spiral energy now. The quasar is like in a spiral form of space matter that is heating up, that is getting excited. This is the term that we use in astronomy, Space material getting excited. Temperatures rising around this newly formed area of uniform electromagnetic energy, this newly forming black hole. Now a black hole, for example, our galaxy is said to be, I think, about 200 light years across from one end to the other end. The galaxy we're in is 200 light years across. All right. So within that, when you look at the galaxy itself now, within the center of the galaxy, in every galaxy, there is a black hole. For scientists to try to guess even that, how far apart, but a black hole could be 100 light years apart, 1 light year apart, depending on the size. But it's big. It is big. They have supermassive black holes. So that energy that is created now in the quasar, the space material, all of this is happening for a reason. The space material will begin to enter into the black hole. So a living black hole sucks material into it. They say that the energy, the electromagnetic energy, the magnetic pull of the black hole is so strong that it can bend light, meaning that if a beam of light was passing over a black hole, obviously this is not really a sensible explanation, but it's still the best we can do just to explain the power of the black hole. If you have a strong beam of light going over a black hole, the electromagnetic energy of the black hole is so strong that it can bend the light and pull the light in the black hole. Now that shows you that the black hole is a different kettle of fish, totally, than anything else that we're talking about. Because the black hole is the mother of creation. The black hole represents the womb, the reproductive system of the woman. It bends light, and you may say, come on, now you're gone too far. No, light can't bend. What is light? You see, we don't, what is light? Light is photons, light is particles. Light is particles. All right. So, need not say more. So, the electromagnetic energy is so strong that it can bend light. Because what the black hole does, the black hole sucks in all the space material that is around it over years upon years, maybe eons. Eons, that's why the Bible speaks of on the first day he created and the second he created. These are periods of time, eons maybe. But it's happening. And all the space material comes into the black hole. I mean, you can imagine they have material all over, feeling the energy, the electromagnetic pull, rocks and boulders and whatever you have out there floating around, feeling the electromagnetic pull of this newly formed black hole. And it gradually coming closer to this area and maybe speeding up as it gets closer, and it joins the frenzy of excitement and the frantic heating up of the temperature around this area of energy, the black hole, and eventually slips inside of the black hole. And this happens continually. That's why when you watch some of these documentaries on the TV, they show you, the rendition of a black hole eating up a planet or sucking in some planet into it. Well, it's possible, because that's the power of a black hole. It pulls material into it over time. Long time, no? Definitely not in no regular person lifespan. Not even in the lifespan of the planet. Well, if the sun gonna blow up in a couple billion years, man. Yeah. Eventually, the same black hole will cool down. The quasar stage will pass away. And then the hole will begin to spit out material in what is referred to as a plasma form. And this is very interesting because the material that it will be spitting out right now is the same material, because the electromagnetic force is still there. So the material that it's spitting out is not going too far. It's going to come again and return and establish itself around this newly formed energy, the same black hole that was sucking in everything in this quasar form, the same black hole that was the core of a star that exploded. The same star wherein the atom collapsed upon themselves, and then this created the neutron star, as some scientists call it. Velocity increased, it began to shrink, and it created this force around it, electromagnetic energy that got bigger and bigger and bigger. It may have been 1 light year across, it may have been a couple miles across at first, then now a light year across, and then several light years across. Maybe now it's 10 light years across. And it has created a quasar. It took a nebula that it was in and formed it. Took a couple million years, but it happened, and created a quasar energy around it and began to suck in all the material that was close by. And going through its process. This is nature, This is like a tree growing and sprouting leaves and knows when to pull out the flower and the fruit, and you open the fruit and all the seed in there. This is, if a tree can do that, I mean, come on. So the black hole, when it turn off the engine or what for a couple of 100,000 years and just gone quiet, whatever it does, then eventually after couple of 100,000 years or maybe a couple of million years, it starts to spit back out material again now, doing something else. And this is in a different form, what they call scientifically the plasma form. And the same material wouldn't go too far. It sticks close to the black hole and eventually will become what is known as a galaxy. Stars and planets come out of the black hole, and I'm speaking somewhat allegorically there. It doesn't mean that a sun comes out of the black hole. It doesn't mean the black hole spit out a couple planets and they just start to circle around it and rah rah. No. Like that, rah rah rah. No, what it means is that the material that comes out of the black hole, now remember, this is not in a day or 1,000 years, not even 1,000,000 years. This is eons of work going on here. Eons upon eons of work. But I'm just showing you the cycle of nature. That when it spits out this material, the material still circles around it. And whether it's eons after that, it is out of this mass of material and cloud and energy and everything that you get the formation of stars, the formation of suns, the formation of solar systems with planets and moons. Again, time frame, eons, man. Long time. And eventually a galaxy will be formed. That's why some galaxies are irregular and still look in a very infant stage, and they will look like that maybe for the next 1,000,000 years. You gotta come back in about 500 million years and then look at them, and they may appear as if they're, becoming a little more uniform. Yeah, that's how serious it is. And a galaxy is being formed because of the power, and then still being kept alive and sustained because of the power of the black hole. So even us as human beings, everything that you see is the product of a black hole. The leaf on the tree, the bird, everything is the product of the black hole. It came out of the black hole. Meaning that, again, not that you flow out of a black hole, but whatever makes you up, whatever your makeup is, all the elements and sub-elements that make you up, everything has its beginning out of that life giving over called the black hole. There's nothing like the black hole. It's the life giver. The black hole concept is the God concept, the man. The black hole concept is the God concept, specifically God the Mother. Because the black hole again represents the reproductive system of the woman, the vaginal canal, everything. The first black hole is the original black woman. That is why you see the goddess Nut on the ceiling. And in the morning, she gives birth to the sun. The sun comes out of her black hole. She gives birth to her son, the sun. The black hole in so-called space is the essence, man. That product then, because it was created, that gives birth to our sun, that gives birth to our stars, that gives birth to our planet. And yes, maybe our planet gives birth to us, but I mean, it all comes from the black hole. All life. Remember, this is not no regular thing. This is bigger than anything else. This is the primary factory of creation. This is the initial engine of creation. This is where life begins, in the black hole. All life begins in the mother of creation, and she bring out everything. I'm stressing this point because it's an important point. If a woman, man, not a woman, man, I mean, if a woman can relate, you know, her reproductive system then. Just that with the black hole, trust me, she gone miles ahead. Not even miles, light years ahead. Because you can begin to see the sacredness of the woman. I am telling you that the woman is the black hole. Life comes out of her. We came out of her. And even when you check her fallopian tubes and the eggs and the ovaries, they still have a connection with the movements of the heavens. The womb looks like the ankh. They have this rotation and the revolution vibration that you see amongst the planets and the moons. All of that is in the woman's womb. The darkness. So when the ancient African philosophy says that the God-man goes into his wife, goes into the nun, like going into the nun and coming out as Ra. What does that sound like to you? So the God figure, the canoe, or not the canoe necessarily, but the Ptah, the God figure going into the primordial waters, going into the nun and coming out as the sun. What does that sound like? Remember the black hole in space, man. The material, the stars, all of the stars, the junk from the stars, as they call it, space junk. The material from the star goes into the black hole and eventually comes out as the sun. Now again, don't put it, it's not no fairy tale. No sun popping out of the black hole and a new star come out. It's material that comes back out of this machine. But it is that material now. Whatever happened to it inside there, it has been fixed up that it will last for generations to come. And I think the black hole is still spitting out material, no matter how civilized your galaxy is, to keep it alive and to keep renewing it. So I'm showing you that it is that living spiritual energy, that spiritual source, that electromagnetic, highly currented, if that's the right word, vibes that come out the black hole, that give life to everything. Insects, lizards, water, H2O, minerals, vitamin, helium, hydrogen, boron, carbon, leaf, fingers, toes, anything you can think about, the wind, the rain, you know what I mean? You just think about it. It comes out of the black hole, or obviously made from something that came out of the black hole. Just think about it. That's the mother. She is symbolic of the mother. I'm not telling nobody to kneel down and pray to no black hole. But I'm showing you that the woman, don't get smart with me and tell me, oh, a dog have a black hole too. The ancient ones have already showed us. Come on, man. What kind of statement is that? I mean, no disrespect to no animal. Because obviously the animals just show themselves, to me, smarter than people, really. That's why we have a lecture, you know, go to the ants. But it's deeper than ants. We cover all different animals and show you how animals behave, animals that don't divorce and them kind of things. There are animals that don't divorce. None of them. Can you imagine that? Go to the ants. Go to the bees. Go to the orangutan. You will learn a thing or two. Go to the Ethiopian wolf that they call the Arabian fox. You will learn a thing or two. All things created from the essence of this black hole. But it is the black woman. That is what the ancients showed me on the walls. They showed me the goddess Nut, and the sun coming out of her womb. That's what I saw. Now the woman is the water, and out of her comes forth life. Ra comes forth out of the waters. The primordial waters is the black hole. And technically, the sun does come out of the black hole, and the stars and everything else. That's where they're born. And inside of her incubator that is around her fold, that is where they're born. Life is born from that sacred black hole. And our ancients showed us that the black woman is the closest thing you can align with that celestial black hole. Are you serious? What is greater than the black hole? And watch this, man. Even the pull, the electromagnetic pull of the black hole is equivalent to the electromagnetic pull of a woman. Naturally, and this is why things like the tight jeans, real talk, can destroy that electromagnetic field that naturally comes out of the sacred spot of a woman. It's a natural thing, ain't nothing nasty, it's natural. Don't you see it's the scent of the animals that attract the other animals? It's a scent, ain't nothing wrong. But all them perfume and douche and this and that and all kind of thing. Nothing wrong with douche, you know. When I say douche, I mean the chemicalized stuff that they promote. Of course, obviously a real woman keep herself of the highest of hygiene. What are you talking about? But this is what I'm saying. The fact that even the woman is not even taught this. She's not taught that she's no goddess. She ain't no black hole. She just there. I don't even want to say what she is according to society. And she's a toy. A woman is a toy, brother. I don't care which society you live in, where they say, oh, well, we have lifted up and empowered our woman. The culture of the mind of most men is that a woman is a little plaything. Most men, don't fool yourself. Even if they marry and they, she can use come on. Sex and pleasure is at the top of the agenda of most people and even relationships, I'm telling you. So, but it is artificial. There's a natural pull. I tell you, the woman have that natural field around her. And it can pull her soulmate to her too. This is how deep the thing is, But we so confused, even the underwear that she wears. Instead of the cotton, it's some kind of nylon thing that distorts the energy and the frequency. And then what we eat, and it's so many different things. It ain't just one thing, It's not just jeans, man. It's so many different things. You could wear the longest skirt and the freest of underwear, but yet you're eating the wrong thing and you're thinking the wrong way. It's still a level of corruption. So it's a real balance thing that is needed here. But that can only be a side note in this presentation because we're dealing with the cosmics. And this is the cosmic, but that aspect, you'd have to find time for that by itself to go into the fullness of all the things that we would have to do to really balance our energy properly. We're talking of Tai Chi, yoga, fasting, praying, fruits, vegetables, juices, greens, hallucinogens. Hey, we gone, man. Clothes. Look, man, this is some serious stuff. Breathing. Nice words. Oh, we got to become a new human being to get that black hole energy back in our woman. So are you saying now that the woman is God? God, as you want to call it, is a balance of male and female, That's for sure. But keep in mind that before the sun came out of the primordial water, The God figure went into the water and then everything else came out. Because the man has to go into the black hole first. Black hole don't just spit out him. You got to go into the black hole. Two black holes can't make nothing. It's chaos. You go into the black hole as the man, just as Ptah plunged into his wife. And out came creation. You plunge into your wife. Real thing. And out comes your son. And out comes the stars, his sisters. You know, all of them come out of the black hole. Because remember, it was a star that exploded. Before there was a black hole, you know, there was a star. Ras star. Ra the star. Because the sun's supposed to explode, you know. Ra the star, Ra the sun, the star. He's supposed to explode. But after that explosion, it is his core that began to create this energy, this spiral feminine energy. And primarily, it is his material that initially went back into that hole. And then out came creation. In you know, I mean, as I said, I can't just put a date to it, but I know it's a long time. Maybe billions, eons, man. In some cases, maybe millions of eons, but it happens. Out comes life again in a newly created biological, chemical form that maybe only the heavens of heavens can really detail for you. And this is why we genuinely love the black woman. Some of us, we talk it, I wonder what we're trying to say, but it is a genuine love, well, at least from me, with this understanding of what we're dealing with. And that is why even we began somewhat dovetailing from the third episode, highlighting that in the heavens there is a Trinity of Father and Mother and the child. And this is why it is so key. I'm not even going to mention the other Trinity because I'm not highlighting that. This is why it's so key for us never, ever to accept any theology that dismisses the woman, not just as an important figure, as a God figure. Holy Emmanuel, Selassie, Jah Rastafari, Salamta. Alafia to each and every one. Salamta and blessed love. Honorable Priest Isaac here. It is with great joy that I am happy to announce to you that I have officially released my first ebook, Anno Ancient and Modern Revisited. This is the continuation process of our easy-to-read books. Within the pages of Anno Ancient and Modern Revisited, we take the time to show you the spiritual connection with the island of Antigua and Heliopolis in Kemet in Egypt, with the island of Antigua and the legendary continent of Atlantis. We also highlight Green Castle Hill, also known as Mount Anu, which is known as the Stonehenge of the Caribbean, with the countless of megaliths that align with the movement of the heavens. This is a must-read for all those who are students of the esoteric realms, astronomy, geology, and ancient sites. Of course, to get a copy of your book, all you have to do is to contact us at area code 1268-728-3162. Call, text, or even WhatsApp. Or you can email us at priestisaac27@gmail.com to get a copy of your ebook, Anno Ancient and Modern. It is an easy to read book. It may appear light, but it is extremely heavy. Yes, God.
On the northeastern corner of the Caribbean island chain sits the gem of the West Indies, Santa Maria de la Antigua. Antigua, renowned for its sun, sea and sand. It has also become famously known as the Stonehenge of the Caribbean. Situated between the villages of Jennings, Ebenezer and Bender's stands Greencastle Hill, 596 feet of volcanic rocks and lemongrass. These volcanic rocks, which are too numerous to tally, naturally protrude out of the hill and are arranged to correspond to the astronomical clock, the solstices, the equinoxes, and the movements of the stars. This has been confirmed by Dr. Maura Imberg, an astroarchaeologist who conducted a study of several keystones on Greencastle Hill. I have visited Stonehenge in England and have seen for myself the methods utilized by the government and people of that nation to incorporate Stonehenge as a part of its economical development through tourism. Infrastructure has been built around the monument, parking lot, museum, and even a restaurant. And of course, thousands flock to the site during the solstices and equinoxes, and millions visit each year. If preserved, developed, and marketed properly, Greencastle Hill, the Stonehenge of the Caribbean, could attract millions as well, in numbers of persons as well as in dollars and pounds. It will provide employment as well as career opportunities for Antiguans, and it would add to the value and appreciation of Antigua internationally. Greencastle Hill has been used for decades as a site for the creation of aggregates and building materials. As it is already a national park, we as a nation should seriously consider Greencastle Hill and preserve it and utilize it, for it is our national treasure and a sacred hill. The nations and nature will applaud us for such actions. I thank you.
As the world turns, many individuals are considering their health, their wealth, their diet. Yabapat Ital Cuisine, located in the heart of Brooklyn, New York, is not just another vegan or vegetarian outlet. No, Yabapat Ital Cuisine is a uniquely designed nucleus utilizing traditional cooking utensils and the best in herbs, fruits, and plant-based materials to provide delicious and nutritious meals specifically designed to meet the needs of the customer. Your personal chef, Hon.Priest Germain, will tailor his cooking to your specific need, whether it be diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer, weight loss, or just a well-needed assistance in changing your eating habits. Our menu includes Ital Green Quinoa, made also with coconut milk, kale, cilantro, etc. Ital Stuffed Peppers, garden vegetables, and Mediterranean stir-fried black rice. We also provide chlorophyll juices, blood builder drinks, various salads, and much more. The Honorable Chef is now serving the entire New York City area, and he will come straight to you. So for more information, give him a call or WhatsApp at 917-312-7658. That's 917-312-7658. or email him at jakashaheru@gmail.com. Give thanks once again. Yabapat Aitel Kuzi.